My name is Linda Schiller Hanna. You have arrived at segment 77 of Inner Kid Keto. Inner Kid Keto is a channel dedicated to the idea that most of us who have weight issues or addiction issues of any kind are usually overwhelmed with feelings. We have a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes within ourselves, within our emotional centers, that have fueled and driven our obsessions. So my purpose with each of you is to talk to you and myself about those inner feelings that sabotage recovery, sabotage self-esteem, sabotage feeling good about yourself, sabotage success of any kind. So that's why I call it the inner kid, because it's about the inner child. Usually it's our inner child that is wounded that runs the show, especially when we go down that slippery slope of self-abuse, overeating, overspending, overtalking, or just feeling like little babies, whatever. Today's theme is bless it or block it. This is a prayer I learned years ago, and it has worked for me beautifully. This is how it goes. You say, God, if you want me to do this, or have this, or manifest this, bless it. If you don't, block it. And then I just stand back and let Spirit lead me, guide me, and just start noticing things that are working out or not. If it's meant to be, it leans in, it flows. If it's not, I say, okay, maybe I'm in the wrong place. Maybe I'm going in the wrong direction. Maybe this isn't the right person. Maybe this isn't the right time. So I'm just giving you that a little tool that's worked for me for years, and I still use it every single day. You want me to do this? Make it easy. I remember one time I was in a therapy session with Dr. Loren Pedersen. He was one of the most incredible therapists of my life out in California. He's written some books like Dark Hearts, the Unconscious Forces That Change Men's Lives, or something like that. Look him up. He's also got a wonderful biography, autobiography, and he's also written books on French. He's just kind of a all-around terrific fellow. But I believe it was him I learned the concept. The opposite of love is not hate, but neglect. If he didn't say it, he might as well have said it. I might have learned this also from Arlin Mauer, my psychology teacher. Good man too. So if you're neglecting yourself, you're not loving yourself. Simple as that. How are you neglecting yourself? How are you neglecting your feelings? Are you noticing that you freak out around certain people, that you shut down, that you can't be yourself, you don't feel safe? Or do you notice that you want to oversleep every morning on work days because you secretly hate your job and you don't even want to let yourself know that? If you haven't figured out your career, or you think you need a change in career, I encourage you to read the book, What Color is Your Parachute by Bowles, B-O-L-L-E-S. An amazing book that helped me find my path. It said I like teaching, counseling, writing, music, and art. I get to do pretty much all of that making these little videos. They're as much for me as they are for you. Never forget that. And probably true of every other person who puts these together. I want to remind you that little Linda is still back here. And little Linda has got a very special friend today. This wonderful little Eskimo child. Now, those people who live in the north on the snow, they have to be in harmony with nature. They have to pay attention to signs. They can't just go to 7-Eleven or the Dollar General every time they think I'm out of toothpaste. Holding the little Eskimo child is a reminder to me, to little Linda, to myself, be natural. Be natural. Never be sharp, never be flat, always be natural. That was a thing that was in my autograph book when I was 7. One of my teachers wrote that, and she used the music signs to say it. I'm going to give you a bless it or block it story. After I lived in Mexico for about a year, I decided that I wanted to go back to LA, get my piano, and take it on down across the border because I was living there happily and I had a nice house. Why not bring my piano? So I bought a little pickup and drove it from LA. I think it was the El Paso border. I think it was Nogales, one of those. And I was ready to cross the border, had my paperwork in order. But the gentleman that was on the gate looked through my truck and he saw the piano and he said, well, you'll have to pay some kind of duty or something, some kind of payment for bringing it across the border. And it was an amount of money that I really couldn't afford. I didn't really even have. And here it was, with my piano in my truck by myself. Not sure what to do. And I determined that I didn't need the piano that bad, but I didn't want to just get rid of it either. And because I'd been in 12-step programs long enough to know that there's a brotherhood, a sisterhood, a community with 12-step people around the world, I knew I could call. So I called a local AA group, got a nice gentleman on the phone, told him my predicament and said, this is what I'd like. Do you know anybody who would like to store my piano for a year? I just want it back when I get back home. I said, I don't care if they use it or not. Maybe put it in a nursing home, a school, someplace where it can be useful, be used and enjoyed. And within an hour, he found a place, met me there. We dropped it off at this beautiful nursing home. They wrote me a receipt saying you can pick this up when you're ready, signed it. I drove up secure and happy. A year later, I came and got my piano, picked it up, brought it up to Ohio. So reaching out and letting Spirit help you, that was a blessed. And I'm hoping that while it was in that nursing home, some other people enjoyed it. Other people might have really needed to play or hear some songs. I had worked in a nursing home. I knew that they were pretty open-minded communities. So between my 12-step group and my experience with nursing homes and my trust of the universe that all would work out, I was blessed. If you've never read the Course in Miracles, that's another wonderful system. It's a channeled book. This lady all these messages would come through. She said, I don't even know what this is. She consulted someone. He said, just keep writing it down. It's good. One of the miracles says, if a miracle doesn't happen, something has gone wrong. It's supposed to be there. And they said, if you want miracles in your life, be willing to be a miracle in someone else's. You've got an extra gas can of gas in your car and you come across a person on the side of the road out of gas. Say, hey, I can spare this. Spirit put you there for a reason. Maybe they can't even afford to buy it. So what? Be a blessing. The only time I feel poor is if I think I can't share. Thank God we always have something to share. Even if it's a word of encouragement or a smile or, you're going to make it. But we're all in this together. You can always ask for the blessed or block it prayer. I was mentioning earlier about Loren Pedersen, my therapist. I was really young. I was in my 20s. And he said, it seems like you feel like you want to cry. And I said, yeah, but I'm afraid I'll never stop. I was a very sad young person. He says, don't worry about that. You'll cry so long that you'll get tired and you'll finally fall asleep. You can never not stop crying. You'll get tired and fall asleep. And so that began a decade of a lot of crying. A lot of crying. The Arlin Mauer, that therapist, when I'd cry, he'd say, who are you peeing on? I said, what do you mean, who am I peeing on? He says, who are you mad at? Tears are often an expression of rage, hurt, anger. There was value in that message too. Knowing it could stop, knowing that I was in touch with angry, hurt feelings, helped me get to the bottom of some of those stories, some of those feelings. I'm just throwing out little pops of things that helped me over the years. One of the worst things you can do with your pain is isolate. I'll say it before, I'll say it again, you're sick as you are secret. A problem shared is a problem halved. Now, I don't want you to go wah, wah, wah with the person's like this. They're watching TV, they're playing video games, they're angry, they're full of their own rage. They are not the right person. You want to look for someone who's open and receptive. You might call someone that's gentle. I don't know if you've got time for this, but there's something I need to talk about. Is this a good time? I'm really feeling vulnerable to share this. Can I be safe with you? If you feel a bunch of judgment coming back, well, thanks, have a nice day. Talk to you later. You don't want anyone shoulding on you. You don't want to should on yourself. You know what I'm trying to say. Find someone safe. If you haven't got someone safe, time to figure it out. I found safe people in 12-step rooms. Al-Anon, ACOA, AA, CODA, Clutters Anonymous, Overeaters Anonymous, Incest Survivors Anonymous, Adults Molested as Children Anonymous. I've been to all those groups and more. And I always found safety there. One of the rules in 12-step meetings is you don't get to give feedback. When you're new, a lot of people want to say, oh, that happened to me too. That's not the place to do it. Meeting is a place to say it, put it out there, let it be heard. You don't want anybody shaming you, shooting on you, commenting, even if it's positive. You get to say your truth. I found it was the first laboratory, the first place I could safely be heard. Newbies are often confused by this rule, no feedback, but it's incredibly powerful and important in that realm. And I've reminded you before, these meetings are free. They'll accept donations, but no one will shame you if you don't have $1 to throw in the plate or $3 or whatever. As you recover, you'll have more wealth to share anyway, and you'll want to. So I'm kind of all over the place. Opposite of love is not hate, it's neglect. Are you neglecting yourself? Are you neglecting your feelings? Are you neglecting your physical care? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you spending too much time on media? Just notice if you're getting a little bit of a wince when I say, am I taking good care of me? You might close your eyes. Let's do it right now. Close your eyes for a minute. Take a breath and get in touch with your inner child. Hello, little Linda, or little Steve, or little John, or little Mary. Just my infant. Be still with them a moment. What do you need from me? Are you getting enough attention from me? Are you soft enough with me? Are you tender? Do you feel safe around me? Am I picking on you, talking negatively about you? If your inner child is looking down, or afraid to make eye contact, or starting to tear up, or making their body language into self-protection, just notice that. We don't need to shame you for any of this where you are now, but we just want to encourage you to make a heart connection from your adult self to that inner child. Just see an energy cord going heart to heart and say, sweetheart, I love you. I'm sorry I've hurt you and neglected you all these years, but I'm back. I care. Let's do another try. Let's start over together. I'm ready to listen to you. You can come to me in a dream. You can give me a signal, like every time you need me, put your thumb inside of your fingers so you say, help, help. You can write to me with my non-dominant hand, or draw me a picture, or just give me a strong message like, stay away from that person. I'm scared of that person. And I'll listen. I'll listen. Thank you, inner child. Thank you for still hanging with me all these years. I love you. And I'm going to take a lot better care of you now than I ever have before. We're going to shift from isolation and neglect to comfort, care, and connection. I'm going to be here from you. I am here for you. And I'm going to ask higher power to bless this connection. And for this, I do give thanks. Thank you for showing up today. Thank you for paying attention. Start noticing the signs of the blessed or block of prayer. Stop isolating. Reach out. If you reach out in the right way, not demanding, not threatening, but kindly, is this a good time? I could use a little help. Do you have space to hear? I'm looking for resources. Could you suggest something? Don't be surprised how wonderfully the universe will come back to you with abundance, support, love, transformation. God bless you. Have a beautiful rest of your day. See you tomorrow.